Roland Frost here, Kona Astrologer. Got some interesting things to share with you on this program 1062. 1062 weeks I've served you. Not getting paid, you know. This is my public service. Anyway, there's a lot of interest in some of the work I've already done. So I started something new on the website, okay? SkyMirrorAstrology.com/TV, my website. There's a new addition. Up on the top left is a button called blog, and if you press the button you'll see a list of a lot of the pieces I've done, like the ones on Trump. People are interested in seeing that again, and the one on the asteroid, and there's an old one from about Konani. Anyway, it's a fun thing, and you won't have to search around. Make it easy for you. I call it blogs. I don't know if it's really a blog, but it's there on the website. Check it out, SkyMirrorAstrology.com/TV. Now, let's get to the job at hand and see what's coming up for you for the next 10 days. All right, we're going through the second week of April, and there's a lot of action going on in the sky. Look at the ones I've drawn large, and there's a bunch of them here. Here's one thing for your planning. Mercury goes retrograde on the 9th of April. Mark that on your calendar. You want to be very careful of that. Now Mercury, with the wings on his helmet, wings on his feet, that's Hermes. The lament, Hermes Lament on YouTube. Wonderful piece. Also Thoth. You know, everybody had a Mercury. Has to do with words and communications. And Mercury is the messenger. So Mercury's going to go backwards starting Sunday, the 9th of April, and it'll go backwards for about 3 weeks and then stop and go forward. It's actually making a little loop, you know. But while he's going backwards, he only delivers about half the messages. Half the time when you go on short trips, you may have to go back again. A lot of the stuff that he's going to do, which have to do with communication and transportation, about half of them you'll have to go back and do again. Now this could be a benefit if you're a salesman. You go make a call, there's a chance you'll have to go back. But you would not want to turn in your income tax after April 9th for 3 weeks, because there's a much higher chance of having to do it again. Eek! An audit! Okay, here's Venus. And Venus is going stationary direct April 15th. It's going to get sexy around that time. Yes, very sexy. Mark it on your calendar. You'll notice. April 15th. Plus or minus a couple days. Oh boy. Then we got Pluto here. Now Pluto goes retrograde on April 20th. And people get radical. And it's cops and robbers times. And you either are switched on or switched off, and there's a tendency to go to extremists. When Pluto stops around the 20th, volcanoes, I just saw a bit on Fukushima that'll curl your toes when you see it, what's going on with radiation and plutonium, and build more nukes and all that. Pluto has to do with mass death and dictators and power and control issues. And when Pluto stops, your reptile brain, your spinal cord and a little brainstem there, it's the reptile side of you gets very active. And it has to do with flight or fight. Either run like hell or fight like hell. That's what reptiles do. So you're going to turn into a reptile here around the 20th of April. Watch yourself a little. Venus is there at that time. Well, here's another guy. Here's Saturn. Now, Saturn is the great malefic, and he's going to stop and go retrograde April 6th. Yeah, April 6th. Just a few days before Mercury goes retrograde. And Saturn, is in a good position here to do something real. He likes to build foundations. But he has to do with management, laws, regulations, rules. Here comes the judge. Saturn can scare you pretty bad. He's the Grim Reaper. And so having, Saturn stop and the Grim Reaper is loose, April 6th, plus or minus a few days, and Pluto on the 20th is loose, April 20th, for a few days. Ugh. And, okay, so these are very powerful things going on in your consciousness and in the people around you. Let's get to some of that, okay? We got the pattern of planets here, and Jupiter's still opposing Uranus. They're still beating up on homeless people. Pluto squaring Jupiter, the police problems, Jupiter, the lawyers and professors and rich people are right now afflicted by Pluto. Power and control. We got to keep our power no matter what. Politics, huh? Saturn, guys in the suits and ties. Jupiter, that's the judge. And Jupiter, the lawyers. Oh boy, what fun to watch. So what we're going to do here is run the moon around this planetary pattern. When it hits the T-square, this red right triangle, it gets really tense and people have a lot of trouble. Basically, it was happening on Tuesdays. It's into Tuesday morning and shifting back into Mondays now. So it'll be mean Mondays, starting this, yes, your coming Monday. Let's take a look at it more closely. As the moon goes by here, it makes angles to these bodies, to these actors on the stage, and generates the mood of the times. Pretty good mood if you're here on Friday, or on Thursday night show. Moon's in Virgo, and it goes by the North Node about 8, 9, 10, 7, 8, 9 o'clock. There's a lot of nurturing going on. Good time. I hope you're watching the show on Thursday night. If you're in the Big Island, by the way, the Friday showing is now at 5:30, not 9, and it's on channel 53. They changed the channel. The Thursday show is still channel 54, 7 p.m., but they took the Friday show and jacked it out a little bit to channel 53 and at 5:30 p.m. Oh well. Mercury. Look at that. There's the little imp. It's early Friday morning on the 7th. Now Mercury goes retrograde on the 9th. So Friday morning, here's your last chance to finish up on the tax stuff and get them in the mail and do your runaround and do your errands. And Mercury's very strong here. When he stops, words become, easy to understand. You find yourself breaking up words into pieces and understanding the pieces and understanding the words better. Words are just symbols, They are. They're really excuses for a lot of telepathy, but I won't get into that. So Mercury's a good guy here. Look up Graham Hancock's The Lament of Hermes on the YouTube and listen to it Friday morning. As you go through Friday, the 7th, you get to the dinner time period here, and here's an opposition to Neptune, and it gets confusing. There's bad smells. What, people drinking too much? Could be. There's Friday's confusion and delusion. And you could get lost easily here Friday, so you got to be a little careful Friday night. Saturday morning, on the 8th, well, here's a good Mars and Pluto thing, and by golly, you can get out there and fix things, experiment, get things done Saturday morning, huh? It's good you didn't drink alcohol Friday because you'll be up and at it and getting stuff repaired here Saturday morning, which is a good idea. Saturday, the middle of the day, there's an old full moon here and difficulties with the square to Saturn Saturday night. It's cold and everything's slow. Very difficult. Boy, I don't like Saturn. No, depressing. Death is upon us. So this Saturday night, when the moon squares it, which is about 10 o'clock or so, It's on the 8th. Now Saturn stops on the 6th. So, he just permeates your consciousness here. So you could be very depressed. Don't drink alcohol for depression. Smoke herb. That's what helps Saturn problems. Don't get dehydrated. Drink a lot of fluids Saturday night. And don't get caught up in judgmental stuff. It won't be an easy Saturday night. Sunday, well, the moon shifts into Libra and it changes. In the early afternoon, here's a nice new moon. The moon hits the old new moon place, and it's not bad, the Libra side of things. But don't get too easy with it all, because as you go through Monday, here's mean Monday. Starts with the square to Pluto before lunch, and Pluto starts to rage. Now he doesn't stop for 10 more days, but he's still, you got to watch him here. And power and control issues, territory, blah, blah. It'll keep you tied up until, 10, 11 o'clock Monday night when the moon squares or opposes the sun. This is the full moon at 22 Libra. And a comment, when you hit this full moon, it's going to set off this T-square for a whole month. So those mean Mondays are about to add a whole bunch of exaggerated emotion, a lunacy I call it. So you're going to have a month of lunacy here and difficulties, and rich people beating up on Uranus, and astrologers are taking the hit too. I need work. Send me some work. Anyway, it's just setting you up Monday with the Pluto square and the sun having a full moon Monday night. And here's Uranus. And suddenly there's electrical problems and power outages and a feeling of aloneness. And that happens Tuesday morning. So you could have sirens, power outages, depending on where you live. This isn't necessarily Hawaii, but there will be places you'll see where this is going to be very difficult Monday. Anyway, Tuesday morning, here we have a sextile to Saturn. You can try to get organized, but look out, because here's Tuesday night, and the moon is opposing Mercury. It's the 11th. Remember, Mercury went retrograde on the 9th. So if Tuesday night, you're still scurrying around with taxes, don't mail them, unless you want to do it twice. So Mercury is communication, transportation, and those things are going to be very difficult here Tuesday night. The wind will not be happy. Wednesday, the moon's in Scorpio, by the way, starting Tuesday about, lunchtime. And by the time you get through Wednesday, here's a nice trine to Neptune. In the middle of Wednesday, there's music, art, religion, sensitivity. Things calm down. I regained a little faith in things again. Did I? I don't know. In the world of Trump, it's hard to keep faith. There's a sextile to Pluto. You'll find new things to invent, new discoveries that will help the situation. Late Wednesday night. This is about midnight Wednesday night, the 12th. Thursday on the 13th, now there's a nasty old opposition to Mars in the middle of the day. It's gotten hot someplace, and people are a little bit on edge, and there could be some anger around on Thursday. Gee, not such a hot week, is it, so far? Well, this is too much hot. Friday, the moon moves into Sagittarius. All the vibes change again. And late Friday night, on the 14th, here is a nasty square to Neptune. Don't drink. Moon squaring Neptune. Nobody likes to see you fumbling around out there. Anybody fumbling around, there will be fumbling around. There will be bad smells, alcohol. There will be deception and lies here Friday night. Don't buy into any of it. Saturday morning, wow, here's a nice Jupiter hit. The sextile to Jupiter, is nice because you had a new moon or full moon on Jupiter, so there's going to be a lot of wisdom. Maybe the lawyers will come out with some real truth that'll help us. That's what we need. Maybe they'll help the homeless. Saturday night, here's the trine to Uranus. Us technical experts, the scientists, the homeless, the environmentalists. Gosh, I think I'm all of those. The astrologers. So have a kind heart towards those people that are different. You're not going to get it from this government. I can't believe what they did on Oahu. Whenever they say, oh, we're going to go clean up the homeless trash, that means they're going to take all their belongings. That's what they do. Ugh. Shame on you people. Maybe you'll feel a little shame here. There's a trine to the sun Sunday morning. What did you do? And there's a trine to Venus. Did you do that with love? I don't know. I think not. By the time you get to Sunday night, well, here's finally a trine to Mercury. But it's already retrograde. Maybe this is just damage control. As you go a little further, go Monday the 17th to go to about here. And here you see Monday night, early Tuesday morning, the moon goes by Pluto. Pluto stops on the 20th. We're talking about the 17th, 18th of April. And there will be volcanoes. Pluto will be raging. You'll see.